Okay, now I'm wanting to address some criticism that I've received in regards to the statement that's often made in King James only material regarding Codex Sinaiticus. The claim is usually simply said that it was found in a trash can. And in my video series addressing that, I said that that was a lie. So there's been some discrepancy as to what is actually correct here. So I was wanting to show you the resources I'm pulling from and let you kind of see some of this information and maybe judge for yourself. Because I think that there's a slight mixture of the two accounts here. My first source here is Who's Who in Christian History. In regards to Tischendorf. Okay. Alright. Starting here. Okay. Of all Tischendorf's accomplishments, the best known is his discovery of Codex Sinaiticus at St. Catherine's Monastery, located near Mount Sinai. The manuscript, dated around 360 to 375, is one of the two oldest vellum, which is treated animal hide, manuscripts of the Greek New Testament. The first time Tischendorf visited the monastery in 1844, he retrieved several leaves of an ancient Septuagint from a wastebasket. Many other leaves, he was told, had already been used to stoke fires. On another visit in 1859, he was shown a copy of the Greek scriptures containing books of the Old Testament and all of the New Testament by the steward of the monastery. Recognizing it as the oldest extant copy of the Greek scriptures, Tischendorf attempted to purchase the manuscript but was refused. After making a transcription of the text, Tischendorf did some political maneuvering wherein the Tsar of Russia was given the manuscript in exchange for favors conferred upon the authorities of the monastery. Tischendorf greatly used the textual evidence of Codex Sinaiticus in preparing his critical editions of the Greek New Testament. Okay, so this account shows that in 1844, when he first visited, he retrieved several leaves of an ancient Septuagint, which is the Greek translation of the Old Testament, from a wastebasket. Okay. Many other leaves, he was told, had already been used to stoke fires. But on a different visit, he was shown a copy of the Greek scriptures containing both the Old Testament and New Testament, which was like a complete manuscript. Okay. This complete manuscript is what became known as Codex Sinaiticus. Not the partials of the Septuagint he had found. The partials that he had found that was in the wastebasket waiting to be burned, to be used as fuel, it wasn't being burned because it was no good. It was being burned because, they needed something to provide for their fire. But anyway, it was just pieces that notified him to let him know that there was things there, because he was out trying to discover manuscripts, in search of those sort of things. Alright. So that's just one source. The next source is Easton's Bible Dictionary. On the occasion of a third visit to... Well, let me back up. Alright. Codex Sinaiticus Codex. Usually designated by the letter Hebrew. The green. On the occasion of the third visit to the convent of St. Catherine on Mount Sinai in 1859, it was discovered by Dr. Tischendorf. He had on a previous visit in 1844 obtained 43 parchment leaves of the Septuagint, LXX, which he deposited in the University Library of Leipzig. Under the title of that codex, Frederico Augustinus, after his royal patron of the King of Saxony. So see, these parchments he first found, supposedly out of the trash can, okay, which may be, they were labeled Codex Frederico Augustinus, not Codex Sinaiticus, okay? After his royal patron. In the year he referred to, 1859, the Emperor of Russia sent him to prosecute his search for manuscripts, which he was convinced were still to be found in the Sinai convent. The story of his finding the manuscript of the New Testament has all the interest of romance. He reached the convent on 31st January, but his inquiries appeared to be fruitless. On the 4th February, he had resolved to return home without having gained his object. On that day, this is a quote, right? On that day, when walking with the provisor of the convent, he spoke with much regret of his ill success. Returning from their promenade, Tischendorf accompanied the monk to his room, and there he displayed to him what his companion called a copy of the LXX, which he, the ghostly brother, owned. The manuscript was wrapped up in a piece of cloth, and on its being unrolled, to the surprise and delight of the critic, talking about Tischendorf, the very document presented itself which he had given up all hope of seeing. His object had been to complete the fragmentary Septuagint of 1844, which he had declared to be the most ancient of all Greek codices on vellum that are extant. But he found not only that, but a copy of the Greek New Testament attached, of the same age and perfectly complete, not wanting a single page or paragraph. This precious fragment, after some negotiations, he obtained possession of. The entire codex consists of 346.5 folios. Of these, 199 belong to the Old Testament and 147.5 to the New, along with two ancient documents called the Epistle of Barnabas and the Shepherd of Hermas. The books of the New Testament stand thus: the four Gospels, the Epistles of Paul, the Acts of the Apostles, the Catholic Epistles, the Apocalypse of John. It is shown by Tischendorf that this codex was written in the 4th century and is thus of about the same age as the Vatican Codex. But while the latter wants the greater part of Matthew, and sundry leaves here and there besides, the Sinaiticus is the only copy of the New Testament in unsealed characters which is complete. Thus it is the oldest extant manuscript copy of the New Testament. Both the Vatican and the Sinai Codices were probably written in Egypt. Alright, so that's another source, just kind of differentiating the stuff found in the trash and then Codex Sinaiticus. Alright, now let's look at the Oxford Dictionary of the Christian Church. Codex Sinaiticus. The celebrated manuscript of the Greek Bible, discovered by C. Tischendorf in the monastery of St. Catherine on Mount Sinai. On a visit in 1844, he found some leaves of the Old Testament books and instantly recognized its great value. He was given 43 leaves, which are now in Leipzig. On his third visit in 1859, he borrowed the manuscript and presented it to the Tsar of Russia. In 1869, this donation was regularized. Let's see. Anyway, he talks about all its contents. It is written on vellum, 4 columns to a page, and choirs of 8 leaves. 3 hands took part in the original writing, and the text has been revised by a number of correctors. Although the text seems to be Egyptian, it was Caesarean in Palestine in the 6th century, and a strong case has been made for locating its origin there. Its date is probably about the middle of the 4th century. The New Testament text of the Codex is closely allied to the Codex Vaticanus, together with which it is the chief witness to the neutral or Alexandrian text. The manuscript exercised a decisive influence on the text of the revised version of the New Testament of 1881, but less on recent editions. Okay, just kind of a note there. Alright, the next source here is, what is this? About a General Introduction of the Bible, Revised and Expanded. This is Geisler's thing. Codex Sinaiticus. This 4th century Greek text, found at the monastery of St. Catherine by Constantine Tischendorf. On his first visit in 1844, he discovered 43 leaves of vellum containing portions of the Septuagint and a basket of scraps that the monks were using to light their fires. He secured it and took it to the University at Leipzig. It remains there, known as Codex Frederico Augustinus. Tischendorf's second visit in 1853 proved unfruitful, but in 1859, under the authority of Tsar Alexander II, he returned again. Just as he was about to return home empty-handed, the monastery steward showed him an almost complete copy of the Scriptures and some other books. These were subsequently acquired as a conditional gift to the Tsar. This manuscript is now known as the famous Codex Sinaiticus. Alright, so again, the ones that were found in the wastebasket were Codex Frederico Augustinus. The complete one that was held by the monk in his room is Codex Sinaiticus. It's not found in a trash can.